Okay, so I work for the Open Knowledge Foundation. The Open Knowledge Foundation is a not-for-profit. We were founded in 2004, so this year we're celebrating our 10th year anniversary. We are passionate about using data, information, and knowledge to empower people across the world to make more informed decisions and to shape the world the way we all collectively want to see it. So yeah, we work in a lot of different domains. Actually, product is a very new domain for us. We work a lot with governments, getting governments to open up their data. We work in science, making sure that all public research is open access. So we're very passionate about having the collective knowledge of our world shared for everyone. And so in 2007, we wrote the open definition. So open data, you can substitute other things, but open in general is data that can be used, reused, and redistributed by anyone, anywhere, for any purpose. So our open definition has a lot to do with licensing, that this data is licensed in a way that someone can take it if they want to build a commercial project off of it. They can use it for information or to build their businesses and whatnot, or they can share it for the world to use, that other people can alter it and change it and do new things with it, things that probably the people that originally collected this data didn't imagine. And I think this is where the real kind of opportunities are for open product data and the data that I'm sure a lot of the companies that you all work for have. You collect this data for a purpose, one specific purpose, but you will never know all the possibilities. And no one can ever think of all the possibilities of how they can use this data. So we are passionate in making sure that data and open knowledge is made useful. So accessible, understandable, meaningful, and able to help someone solve a real problem. So this is one of the really interesting questions that came out of today. Someone made this point of remembering that we need to what are we trying to accomplish? What is going to be the impact? This is not just opening for opening's sake. Where are we going? And that's how you draw your roadmap of how to get there. So yeah, oh, sorry, my slide's a bit weird. Open data, we've been talking about this for a while at the Open Knowledge Foundation, since around 2004. Governments got really invested around 2009. The UK government opened up all of their, or not all of their, but a lot of their data in 2009, 2010. Transport data. I don't know if any of you have iPhones or Androids and you have Citymapper. So Citymapper was built on open data because TfL could not have done that. But some entrepreneur took the data that TfL opened and they built this kind of app with it that is really useful. I don't know. I use it all the time. And that is open data. That is the power of open data. Take it out of the hands of the bureaucrats. So all of these things were happening, and we're really excited about open data for weather, open data for transport, open data for science. But the product space was people were talking about the Internet of Things, but somehow these two groups weren't really communicating that much. There was a lot happening around data and products, but we weren't talking about open product data so much. So Philippe, who is just an inspirational person, came to the Open Knowledge Foundation. He had been working by himself to create an open product database. So he, in 3 months, we worked on it for about 9 in all, but 3 months, he taught himself to code and built a database with around 1 million barcode numbers. So, a pretty impressive thing to do with your time. But he knew that he couldn't grow that on his own. So he came to the Open Knowledge Foundation, and we together are building a community that can help contribute to this, share their knowledge of how they would want to use this data so that we can build a database that is scalable. Because at the moment, it's a proof of concept that it is possible to have an open product database, but how are we going to build it scalable? How are we going to make sure it's useful? And the other issue is GTIN numbers are really exciting for people that maybe work in supply chains, really exciting for people that love data, but for the average consumer, nobody cares about their barcode number. They want to know something else about the product. So then we need to figure out what are the data sources we want to link to that. This is something Provenance does really, really well. How are we going to use these numbers to tell a different story? So yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about, so something that people might be interested in July of this year, we're having OK Festival, so Open Knowledge Festival. It's an event with 2,000 people. I'm really hoping that the open product space can kind of shine at this festival. The call for proposals will go out mid-February. So this is an event with people from governments, civil society, for-profit businesses, often built on open data. Hopefully Provenance will be represented. And it's really trying to get people in the room talking about like what we can do with our data and how we can make our data more useful. So yeah, you can go to okfestival.org. And so empowering consumers through open knowledge, helping people make better decisions about their lives, their communities, and their environment.
Thank you.